Alright guys, how's it going? Thank you so much for joining this session. Good to be back. And let's just keep going, alright? So in the previous session, I guess we already figured out the activation of this particular P-Series Cloud Edition. As you guys can see here, if you already figured out the activation, you will simply jump into the login page like this. And then, I guess we can simply use the username and the password we set it before to log into the system. But first thing first, guys, before we start to jump in, I guess we still have something left here. Let's take a look. Now, when you try to activate this particular cloud instance, the cloud PBX, all right, the cloud edition of our P-Series PBX. Anyway, you can basically get back to your mailbox, and I'm pretty sure you guys will have this. This is going to be the mail notification. So basically, it just tells you that your PBX, it works like this. You know, all the information of that particular cloud edition of the P-Series system. You can just take a look here on your mailbox. And besides that, let's get back to the central management. So back to the central management, like I said at the very beginning, this is just going to be the centralized platform for helping us to manage everything, especially those created PBXs, right? So we got a bunch of PBXs created in this list. So you can absolutely start your management right over here. For example, you can basically click on this, check the details of this very specific instance. All right, all the base information of this particular one, you can get it over here, and also the customer information. By the way, you can also go click on this one, which is going to be more. So you have more options, like resize capacity. So like if this end user, he needs more users, he needs more concurrent costs, I can simply just go click on resize capacity here. I can change the system capacity for him. Pretty simple. So it's really easy for me to scale it up and down for my customer. And besides that, what else do we have? Take a look. Upgrade plan. This is the thing I mentioned in the previous session. So if you want to upgrade the plan for this particular instance, because we start with the enterprise plan. So if we want to get the ultimate plan, like you need the video conference feature, web video call feature, something like that, absolutely you're supposed to upgrade the plan. So we can get to this portal, we can click on upgrade plan, and I'm pretty sure you will see this. When you click on that, there will be a pop-up. So this pop-up basically just tells you how do you activate the plan upgrading. Okay, so we can simply go click on that copy, this one, this icon, get the serial number, and then just back to our distributor, back to our local dealer, send them this serial number. So they're going to help us to activate this. They're going to help us to finish this subscription plan updating, okay, upgrading, I'm sorry, okay. So that's basically what we can do with this part. And also, you can go click on this button if you want to stop the PBX. That's also supported because everything's under your control. That's it. So, I guess that was all for this Yeastar Central Management for our management job. Okay, now let's jump into the Cloud PBX. Let's start talking about the configuration. So, here's the deal. Just like I said, don't forget the username and the password you said before. Right? It's truly important. It truly matters because if you forget the username, you can't log in. All right. So as we know, previously I said the username, which is going to be Yeastar1 plus the password I said before. I guess it's something like Yeastar123 or something. Anyway, then you can just basically go click on login, and here we go. This is just the way how we get started for our configuration of this particular PBX instance. First thing first, you have the data processing agreement. Absolutely. You can take a look here, just have a quick look here, whatever it is, and then go confirm with this. I have read and agreed to the above agreement. And then let's go click on confirm. Now, here's the deal. We can start our configuration for this instance right now. Okay. So as we know, this instance is Cloud PBX. It's based on cloud. So on the dashboard, you can basically figure out all the basic information of your, extensions, like chunks, something like that. You don't have any information about the physical interfaces because there's no physical interface on this Cloud PBX, right? It's totally virtualized, simple and plain. And you can also check your plan status, okay? So like I said, we start with the enterprise plan. We got the enterprise plan here. That's what it is, okay? So this is basically the dashboard, and whenever you want, you can just get back to the dashboard. You go click on dashboard there, you check here. get all the detailed information, all the working status of your system over here. So this is just the dashboard, nothing special. Now let's keep going. So how do we get started? How do we get started for the system configuration? I guess this is really easy because the whole system is based on the cloud, and basically you don't have to do anything about the system settings. It's all set there, right? The server information, everything is all set there. I guess the first thing we're supposed to do here is just go click on PBX settings here. You can simply go click on preferences here. So if you would like to take some customization for your system preferences, you are supposed to go click here. All right, device name, like I said, it's going to be Yeastar 1, and you can also customize something very fundamental, like a max call duration. You can change it over here. And more importantly is, I guess this one really matters. It's going to be the extension preferences. Sometimes you want to change the extension number range. You go access this place. Don't forget it. All right. So I think I'm okay with this. I'm going to keep the default extension number range from 1000 to 5999. That's okay for me. So I'm not going to change anything here. Anyway, so this is just about the preferences as the first step. And second step, we can go check on voice prompt. Okay, go access this place, the voice prompt. For voice prompt here, I think it depends on you, all right? Just like I mentioned at the previous session, the system prompt, if you never change anything there, you only have English prompt. This is just the default language prompt for your system. And if you want to get more language, you can go click on this. Get more languages. You can upload something on the system. This is option 1 if you have. And option 2 is you can go click on download online prompts. So get the online prompt here. Like if I need something else, I need Chinese or something, I can just go click on download. That's it. So I will be able to get multiple language prompt on my system right now, right here. All right, just be a little careful. This is a system prompt. It's not the custom prompt. It's quite different between system prompt and the custom prompt. The custom prompt, I think we're going to talk about more details of this a little bit later, but you guys just know it. Just keep this in your mind. Later on, you might probably use custom prompt. You might probably create a bunch of custom prompts for your, usability, for your some functions, some features. Absolutely. Like if you have an IVR or something, you absolutely need to create a bunch of prompts by yourself. Okay, so this is something customized by yourself. It's quite different. Okay, so that's basically what we're supposed to do in the PBX settings part. And as for the system part, you guys can also, let's just take a look, all right? Because this is the cloud solution, so everything's based on cloud. I guess you can just take a look. You can go click on date and time here, but honestly, there's nothing we need to do here because on the at the very beginning, our preparation work on the YCM, we already set everything there. It's all preset. And besides, this is based on cloud, so date and time will be synced automatically from the N2P server. So if you've configured this in advance, then you don't have to do anything on this part. We can just keep what it is here. And even the mail server, which is the SMTP server. Now, it's based on cloud, so you can absolutely keep what it is. We're going to use the default SMTP server. That's activated already. And if you want to customize the mail server by yourself, you can absolutely select this. So you go change the mail server settings by yourself. This is also supported. Well, I guess I would like to take the first one, which is simpler, which is easier. And if you want to see whether this is working or not, please click on test. Then you can see this is my mailbox, so I can definitely go click on test. This Cloud PBX will just send me a test mail. And we can just check on our mailbox, see this is working or not. That's pretty simple. All right. Okay, so this is about the preparation work at the very beginning once we jump into this particular instance. Now, let's start talking about the configuration, all right? So when we try to deploy the cloud solution for our customers, basically there's nothing based on physical part, right? You don't have to figure out the physical deployment, not necessary. We just need to get the system ready and figure out the endpoints registration. Then end users, they can just grab their phones, they can use it. That's basically what it is. So what we're supposed to do now is we can just go click on extension and trunk here. And go click on extension. Like I said, you want to make use of this particular instance. You actually need a bunch of extensions, right? For individual users. So here we can go click on add. We give you guys two options. You click on add, you're going to create a single extension right now, right here. And if you click bulk add, you're going to use the template, create a bunch of extensions simultaneously. And also, there's another option for you guys, which is the import. So if you already get the template or you already have something in the list, you can go click on export. So our system will just create the CSV file, which is the template for helping you to create your extensions. You can definitely check the CSV file, do whatever you want, upload it back here. A bunch of extensions will be configured simultaneously. Generally speaking, three options for you guys to create a bunch of extensions. Now, I'm going to take the first one as an example. Let's see how do we create a single extension. Take a look. Step 1, we're going to have first name, we're going to have last name. This is basically the user information. That truly matters because for every single one of our individual users, they can actually log into the system as well. They are going to use our web client, so they need the user information. That's it. Now, currently, I'm logged into the system as the super administrator, so my job is simple. I will just need to figure out the configuration for all the functionalities or features. That's it. But for individual users, things are going to be a little bit special. They can actually take their user account, log into this interface, but that's not going to be the configuration portal. That will, first of all, that will be the web client. That's just our Linkus UC client based on web. So they can actually use their browser with the web client for communication, for instant message, even for video conference. Do whatever they want. So here's the place. We can actually create this user information for individual user. Like I'm going to drop my name here, which is Jason. And this is going to be new. That's my, typo. So this is going to be my user information. And then email address. Drop your mailbox here. All right. I guess I'm going to use something special, a little bit different because previously my Yeastar mailbox has been taken. So I might probably try my Gmail. Let's try to use Gmail box. So I'm going to use my Gmail. Okay, right over here. And the next part is going to be mobile number. It's optional, absolutely, because later on, depends on you. If you want to get some notification by sending, by calling your mobile or something, it's possible. So sometimes we might probably need your mobile number. It depends on you, right? But you can also skip this. That's okay. And next part, this is something we must have, which is going to be the user password. This is just a password for this particular extension user to log into the web client. So you can set whatever you want there. That one, it's going to be a random password. So if you want to make it clear, well, you're supposed to customize the password specifically here. And I guess I'm going to keep what it is. Yeastar123. Let's make it simple. All right. Yeastar123. All right. And then one more thing here. It's going to be the user role. So what is the user role? You probably get a little bit confused here. Well, take a look. When you click on that, we get a drop-down list with a bunch of options. Those different user roles are all presets on our PBX. And as for how are we going to make use of those presets? Well, it's like different preset got a different user permissions. That's it. So like if I select administrator, that basically means now this extension 1000 for Jason New, his user role is administrator. In other words, when he logs into the web client, he also has the user permission to switch it back to the configuration portal to configure the whole system as what I can do right now because your user role is administrator. But I can also set it as something else. Like if I make you as employee, I guess only a few of our user permissions will be enabled for this if you choose employee. That's just the difference. Okay. And let me just show you guys the example. So this is going to be administrator, right? So this is going to be the administrator, and let's keep what it is here. Extension number is 1000, all right? And I got a user password, which is Yeastar123. So I will save this first, and I will show you guys something special. So like I said, we can absolutely log out of the system, and we can use that user account, log into the system. And the first thing you will have there is just going to be the web client, which I was talking about before. The Linkus UC client based on web. I guess I will need to change this. Probably the system will ask me to enter the email address. Let's try mailbox. Okay, so let's do this. Yeah, sure. For better security, I think the system will just ask you to enter the mail address instead of the extension number. That's really important. So take a look. This is what I'm going to do now. I'm working as the individual user 1000. When I log into the web client, the system will just notify me to change the password. All right, so this is going to be the new password. And let's just set a new password here. Okay, save it. And then the system will just ask me to log in again. So I will show you guys the difference exactly, between the super administrator's account and this individual user account. And let's see what's the difference. Here we go. Take a look. When you log into the system, first of all, this is just going to be the web client. So you can use this panel for making calls. Obviously, I only have one extension right now. So you can use this web client for communication function, for instant message function. Anyway, like I said, it's just the web client. All right, you can also have the video conferencing, something like this. This is all for the usability, right? However, my user role is the super administrator, which means check on here. On the left side corner, we got access management portal. So when I click on this, we're actually going to switch it back to the configuration portal. And now you guys see the difference. My user role is the administrator. When I switch it back here, I can absolutely work as the administrator to manage the whole system. I can even create an extension right now, right here. That's it. That's what I can do here. All right. So that was basically what we can do with this user role setting. Okay. Anyway, this is just an example, all right? So to make it clear, I would like to switch it back to the super administrator account, all right? Because we still have a lot of work to do. So let's just switch it back to the super administrator's account and figure out the configuration, the rest of our configurations. So let's jump in. Switch it back to the super admin. Okay. So let's keep going with our extension configurations. I'm going to go click on edit. Let's see what else do we have. Some other things left here like extension information. Wow, you got extension 1000. So you got extension 1000 number and caller ID. And also we have registration name plus registration password. This is really important, especially when you try to figure out the phone registration. The endpoints, all right? You got a endpoint or endpoints. Anyway, you actually need to use the registration name and the registration password if you want to figure this out by yourself manually. Okay. And the reason why I mention endpoint and endpoints because of this. IP phone concurrent registrations, it can be 1. It can also be 3 maximally. So if you want, you're actually going to be able to have 3 IP phones registered on the same extension number simultaneously. And also, don't forget Yeastar Linkus. We got a mobile client, we got a web client, and also we got a PC client. So truly, it's very flexible. You got so many endpoints working simultaneously if you want. Okay. And let's keep going. Next part is going to be Outbound caller ID. I guess currently we don't need this, all right? This is basically a feature for your DoD number settings. Depends on you, all right? If you have a chunk with a bunch of numbers, you want to make it be more specific for DoD numbers, then you might probably set it, then that number will be posted here as well. And also, you guys can see emergency outbound caller ID number. It's the same thing like I said, emergency outbound caller ID, and I'm pretty sure this is kind of like a special service, a carrier or service provider. They might probably charge you additionally for this service. And if you have, you can get the service from them. You can get this particular outbound caller ID. And more importantly, you can make this outbound caller ID bounded with this particular extension. Sometimes it really matters. For example, like if this is a project for hotel user, if this is the project for hotel user, I'm pretty sure they're going to use this because they want to make the emergency call, every single one of our emergency calls, be really specific. So the police officer, the public security center, they will be able to figure out your caller ID, your company location, and also which extension made that emergency call. That's it. And then next part is going to be presence customization. So truly, guys, this is a cloud-based unified communication solution for SME users. And talking about the UC solution, presence, it's a big deal. Right over here on this page, we can just customize our presence status. Absolutely. So like if I'm available, I might probably show people, hey, what's up? This is totally supported, right? And I can also customize the call forwarding destinations if I'm available, right? When I'm available right now, the destination might be voicemail or it might be somewhere else. I can just customize them one by one. And I can also set the ring strategy more specifically here, ring timeout, right? Default configuration, 30 seconds, or you can customize it as you wish. And other things like this, ring the mobile number simultaneously. So here's the deal. If you're going to use the mobility extension that really support it, and you will actually need to drop your mobile number in advance. So next time, if you got someone who's calling you, all right, you won't miss that call because we have the mobility extension feature. You will have a phone call on your mobile simultaneously. That's it. So this is basically what we can do with this available, presence customization. However, you can also go click on business trip. So you make another customization for your business trip as well. Let me disable this first. So like this is going to be my configurations for available. Then I can go click on business trip here. I can go customize it with something else, something special. That's it. So this is about the presence customization. And then we got a voicemail. Take a look. It's a basic feature, so it has been enabled automatically. And you guys can take a look here. This is going to be the voicemail access PIN code. So if you want to check your voicemail by your IP phone, I'm pretty sure the system will ask you to enter the password, which is going to be 3966. And as for new voicemail notification, you go click on the drop-down list. You have 3 options. Do not send email notifications. Send email notifications with attachment. Send email notifications without attachment depends on you. Your customization here, absolutely. Besides, you can also enable something else. Play date and time, play caller ID, play message duration. Oh, that's really flexible for you. And next part is going to be voicemail grading. This is something so advanced, all right? So we're talking about this UC solution, and the UC solution is also based on cloud. It's really awesome. It's really cool. And more importantly is we do have some good user experience, pretty good user experience actually, especially like this. This is just an example. So like the voicemail grading, if you never customize anything here, well, then someone tries to leave a message for you, then originally the system will just play the default prompt, like please leave a message followed by pound key. Something like this, right? Might be something else. Anyway, that's the default prompt. So you can absolutely customize your voicemail grading here as well. You can definitely go click on the drop-down list. If you try to record something new, you can go click on this. Take a look. So give you guys 2 options. Option 1, if you have something recorded in advance, you want to upload it to the system, you go click on grading management, then upload. So make sure the audio file you have there is under this requirement, then you can just upload it to the system. So this is option 1. And option 2 is you're going to go click on record new grading here directly, and just simply name this recording. All right, name it. Step 1, name it. Step 2, select one of your extensions. Now, currently, I only have one extension, obviously, okay. But anyway, if you have a bunch of extensions, whatever, select any of them. Then you go click on confirm. So there will be a phone ring on your extension. Just go grab the phone, start your recording. That's the way how you record a new prompt. A new greeting for this. That's it. Very simple, very easy. Okay, so this is about the voicemail grading. So as you guys can see, you can customize the voicemail gradings for a bunch of, presence available, away, do not disturb, lunch break, business trip, and even off work. That's it. And next part, features. Take a look. So number 1 is going to be notifications. First one has been enabled. Send email notification when the user password is changed. Well, it truly matters. We care about the security. We don't want anyone mess up with our user account. So we just enable this for you. And also next one, send email notifications on missed calls. Depends on you. Well, I guess I'm not going to enable that for now. All right, because I don't want to get any notification if I get a missed call. So I would like to skip that. But this is optional. All right. Then we have call recording. So take a look. Now this time on the cloud edition of our P-Series system. Well, actually not only the cloud edition, the whole P-Series system. Appliance edition, software edition, and even the cloud edition. We do the same thing. There is no one-touch recording feature, but there's always the call recording feature, which is the auto recording. All right. So here's the deal. If there's only auto recording feature, can I manage this recording as an individual user? This might be the question. The answer is yes, sure, why not? The only thing we need there is just enable the user permission. Make sure you got the user permission, then you can absolutely manage the recording. You can do it, all right? So take a look. we can allow the extension to view recordings. So if I enable this, well, you do have the permission to check the recording. All right. And number 2, we can enable this. Allow the extension to pause or resume call recording during the call by pressing the recording button in the Linkus clients or dialing the feature code *1 in the Linkus client's IP phone. Anyway, this is just the thing I mentioned. We can enable the user permission for this extension user to manage the recording. Sometimes we might probably have some call with some information really sensitive. We probably don't want to record it, but as I mentioned, there's only auto recording feature. So how can we stop the recording sometimes? Well, I can absolutely enable the user permission for you. Okay, next one. All busy mode for endpoints. Well, this is truly a pretty good solution for better user experience. If you enable this, like I said, we got multiple terminals now. It's possible, right? So you enable this, well, you won't be disturbed if you're on a call right now. Next part. Time conditional presence auto switch. This is also an advanced feature for a better user experience. Let's take a look. So we got business hours, we got break hours, holidays, outside business hours. These are all the time conditions. So what you're supposed to do is you can go click on drop down list here, make your selection. Like if currently our time condition is just on our business hours, then I might probably want to show people my presence is as available. And if this is outside business hours, I might probably want to show them I'm off work. That's it. That's what I can do here. And next one, call handling based on caller ID. So this is like a side feature. Depends on you. So if you have some special caller ID, like a VIP customer or someone, anyway, you want to handle this call specifically. So you drop the caller ID here, then you set the particular destination. So that's it. This is what we can do with this. All right. And I guess that was all we have about this part. After that, just go click on save and go click on this orange button. Don't forget it. Otherwise, your configurations, your modifications, they won't take effect. So go click apply. Make sure all of your configurations are going to take effect. So this is basically what you're supposed to do for this step. Okay. Now, what next? Let's keep going. Next step. Okay, we already figured out this. This is going to be the extension configuration. So next step, well, try to register your IP phone on the system, right? So you can absolutely use your IP phone. You can register the phone on the PBX manually. Simply go access the configuration portal of your IP phone. Fill in the blanks, register the phone on the PBX. This is one option. Another option is we can go click on auto provisioning. So here, you can use the auto provisioning as well. But first thing first, the auto provisioning, exactly which brand can we support by auto provisioning? If you want to figure out that, you go click on resource repository. All right, go click on resource repository here. Then there's a drop down list. See this banner? We have GigSet, A-Link, HTAC, Fanville, and Snow. That's it. So if your phone is one of them, then you can absolutely back to the phones here. Click on add. Try to register this phone on the Cloud PBX by auto provisioning. That's it. We got the template, all right? So you will simply need to select your vendor, all right? Might be E-Link, might be Fanville, whatever you selected here, and drop the model number, all right? We got so many models. Select the model, drop the MAC address, okay? And then the template will be in the list. Select it. That's it. Then just choose the extension number. Now, obviously, I only have one extension number, so I'm going to assign extension number 1000 for this phone. Then we click on save. There will be a pop-up to tell us the IP phone needs to be rebooted. Well, just go confirm with that. After that, well, you can just grab your phone. You can make a call now. The phone will be registered by this. So this is the auto provisioning. And another thing, let's get back to extension. Okay, another thing here is we also have Linkus server, right? So don't forget this. The Linkus server, basically, we don't have to do anything. There's nothing we need to do for Linkus server. It's all preset. But just take a look. Here we got email templates. Now, what is the email template? The email template we have here is actually the activation mail for this individual user to use Linkus. So if I want to use Linkus, like a mobile client, how can I log in? Right? Well, if this is web client, that's simple. You switch the user account on the same web page. But if this is the mobile client or PC client, we actually need to check on this activation mail. That's it. So back to the extension settings, you go click on edit. Here you can go click on link as clients. So this has been enabled automatically. For individual users, when they check on the activation mail, basically they can just get this. That's the login QR code for him. All right. And besides, this is also going to be the login link for this particular extension user if he wants to use the PC client. That's it. So this is about the extension settings. Now, next thing left here is going to be this. Well, I think I will need to talk about user role first, guys. Previously, I mentioned we got a bunch of presets. Those presets are right over here. You can customize them absolutely. Like this is the administrator. All of our user permissions are activated for this administrator. That's it. You can customize it here. And you can also go click on add. So you define this particular user role by yourself. This is absolutely supported. All right. So this is about the user role. This is also about the way how we make use of the user role, just like I showed you in the previous example. All right. And next one is going to be extension group. Take a look at this. This one, it really helps. What is the extension group, guys? So if you never create any extension group, you do have one, which is the default extension group. And this group, it contains all of our extensions. That's it. So it's like if I never create extension groups, so next time when I switch it on my mobile client or PC client or even the web client, I will just be able to see all of our extensions are going to be posted there because they're going to be my colleagues, right? However, sometimes we want to make things be more specific, especially for business users. It's good. It's better for them to manage the team. Like I have a sales department, I have tech support. So what I'm supposed to do is I can actually go access here, create different extension groups, make it be more specific. I'll show you guys an example. So let's create a bunch of extensions simultaneously so we can make it be more specific. Now I'm going to use Bellcat, and I guess I will need to create 5 extensions or maybe more. Let's create 8 extensions simultaneously. That's it. So I got 8 extensions in the list now. Okay. Now go click on extension group. Let's create some extension groups here. So this one, you might probably name it as sales department, right? And you can just make your selection. So sales department, I got an extension 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004. 4 guys in the sales department. Okay. And here we also have user type. We have operations. We can customize them. All right. Now, just wait for a sec. I will show you more details about the user type. Okay. Now, what you're supposed to do is you can just go click on group permission. Take a look. First one is going to be group information visibility. What is this? I'm pretty sure you guys still remember previously when I jump into the web client, right? So if I log into the web client as an individual user, I can see all of our extensions. I mean, periodically, right? So the point is now you have extension groups. Sometimes some group we don't want people to see it, like accounting office, R&D department. We want to make them be disappeared or maybe visible to only some specific extension users. That's what we want. So here, group information visibility, it depends on you. You can make this be visible to all of our extensions or visible to extensions in this group only, or maybe visible to specific extensions. It totally depends on you. All right, like to specific extensions, so I will select extension 1000 only. That's it. And then we got a permission configuration. So we got 2 identities. We have manager, we have user, and now we can choose to enable manager permission. You can absolutely enable all of this. All right, like view Phonebooks, manage Phonebooks. This is exactly what you can do here. And as for users, you can keep it what it is. All right, makes you don't have any user permission to do anything there. That's it. Then back to the basic here. You can select one of those guys to work as the manager for this team. All right, it's totally flexible. It depends on you. Like I'm gonna select myself here. Then I'm gonna make me as the manager. So that's it. I got the full permission to do everything, to manage the whole team. Especially when I log into the web client, everything. All right, all the information will just be posted on my web client. So that's it. This is about the extension group. All right, then we click on save and apply for it. And of course, sure thing, we can create another one, which is going to be tech support, right? So you can select some other users in this group, like 2 extensions in the tech support. That's it. And group permission, I think this is going to be visible to all extensions. That's it. Then I can just keep what it is here. And then I will just click on save and apply for it. That's it. All right. Now let's keep going. One more thing here is going to be contacts feature. This one, it's available on the PBX system Cloud Edition. Absolutely. All right. It's not just the contacts feature. You have two options, guys. Option one is going to be contacts. So if you have so many contacts information, you can absolutely upload it here. Or you can create them one by one. Your contacts information. The customers, vendors, suppliers, anyway. Do as you wish here, right? And another one is we also got a Phonebooks feature. So Phonebooks feature is more advanced. It's like, because like I said, we have so many contacts. Some of them are customers, some of them are vendors, some of them are suppliers. So I want to make my contacts be more specific. Then we actually use the Phonebooks. You create a phone book here, you just assign some specific contacts in this particular phone book. That's it. We can even manage our external contacts more specifically. That's what we can do with this. All right. So that was all about this contacts feature. That's it. Now, let's keep going. Okay, so now basically we can just use our phones. We can make internal calls. Not a problem. Absolutely. Now, what next? Next step, take a look. How do we make an external calls? This might be our next question. So if you try to figure out the external costs on the PBX Cloud Edition, well, absolutely, I guess you will need to figure out the trunk settings first. You need the trunk. You need the channel to communicate outside. Then go click on here. We just go click on add. This is the place for us to create the SIP trunk. Take a look. Step one, I guess step one is something like this. You're supposed to go contact with the service provider or carrier by the service. All right, if you don't have the service, you can't even use this. All right, purchase the service first, and then just name the SIP trunk. It might be something like SIP01. Well, this is just my example, I guess, or maybe SIP1. Anyway, just an example. So you get the SIP trunk there, you name it, and then we got an ITSP template. Depends on you, all right? So you can select the template here. Now, for example, I'm going to select United States here. Then I got a bunch of templates here with different providers. So if my provider is one of them, or if my provider is one of them, then I can select it here. So you guys can see the template will just help me to figure out some basic configuration automatically. The only thing left here for me is just going to be the username and the password. I need to authenticate myself to the service provider side to activate the service. However, if your provider is not in the list, that's okay. If you don't have the provider in the list, well, we can choose general. Doesn't really matter. Means I'm going to configure the SIP trunk by myself because all these parameters can be provided by the service provider. Absolutely. They're going to hand it to you. So you check with them about the host name, IP address, domain name, and even username and the password. Maybe authentication name as well to enable the SIP trunk. Register a PBX on their side to activate the service. That's what it is. This is one way for us to get the SIP trunk connection. And another way for us is sometimes our SIP trunk might be a little bit special, might be more specific. So take a look. You can click on drop-down list there and you will have more options. You will have pure trunk DID based, pure trunk port based, or pure trunk private network, or even account trunk. So exactly check with your service provider if they provide you pure trunk, a dedicated SIP trunk. It's DID number based. Well, this is the way how you do it. Or if they provide you the trunk, they check with the particular port. You select this one. Or maybe private network, you choose this. So it totally depends on you. It totally depends on the service you get from the service provider. All right, so make sure you check with them first. Confirm this. Then back over here, just drop the parameters which are required to activate the service. That's it. Okay. So this is basically the way how we create a SIP trunk. Oh wow, I guess I need a one because as an example later on, I will need a test version. I would just need a SIP trunk for example. All right, so I guess I'm gonna take an account trunk here. All right, click on save and apply. I get this one left here. Even this is something doesn't work, but I really need it. Okay, so for the for my demonstration later, I will need this. Okay. So that was the way how we configure the trunk, and now let's keep going. What else? Now you already get the channel configured. The next step is going to be this. We go click on call control. Try to make use of your channels for communication. Absolutely. That's what you're supposed to do. So I guess to make it clear, I guess I will need multiple SIP chunks. I think I just need a multiple SIP chunks. So our examples will be more specific, I guess. It will be more clear, I guess. Let's create 3 SIP chunks. Even though none of them can work now, but it's a pretty good example. It could be a pretty good example for us later. Okay. All right, I got 3 SIP chunks there. Now, let's keep going. So for call control settings, step 1, go click on business hours and holidays. It really matters because, for example, if you guys try to call me on weekends, you can never do that. But you can absolutely call me right now, right here, on weekdays. That's it, because of the time conditions, right? So we can absolutely go access business hours and holidays here, create the global business hours and holidays for the whole system. You can go click on add, take an example, like Yeastar. We start working from morning 9 o'clock to 6 p.m. So we set the time rule like this. And we also got a break hours, which is going to be the lunch break. So we start with 12 o'clock to 1 p.m. That's our lunch break, I guess. Yeah, sure. And then date settings depends on us, all right? I want to make it simpler, so I will use days of week, Monday to Friday. This is simple. If you want to have advanced options, you can also go check this, so you can make it be more specific. It depends on you, but I want to make it simpler. Now I click on save and apply for this. So this is the general rule. It works totally for every single day. And then we can also add holidays here. So you go click on add here. You can probably create something like New Year. All right, let's see New Year. So I would just click on New Year here and by date, right? That's right. New Year is just by date. So we add the New Year here. Oops, I'm sorry. It's going to be January. Where's January? Oh, it's here. Sorry. So it's January 1st to January 2nd. I don't know. Just an example, all right? Just an example. So we click on save like this. Then we are going to go click on save. All right, that's it. Now we're ready with our business hours and holidays. Let's just keep going. See what else do we have. The next step for us is just try to make use of our, channels and holidays, the business hours for inbound route and outbound route configuration. So what is the inbound route? This is just a place for helping us to set the rule to tell the system how to handle incoming calls from the outside. And the outbound route will be something we're going to take reverse. That's it. So take a look. When you click on inbound route, you got something existed here. This is a default inbound route. You can absolutely go click on edit. You can customize this one right over here directly. Not a problem. So here, name, you can keep what it is here, or you can name it as you wish. And next one is going to be inbound alert info. This is a phone feature. It's actually also, it got another name. It's going to be the distinctive ringtone. That feature is a phone feature. It's like if you want to have a very specific ringtone from your IP phone when someone's calling you by using this inbound route, then you drop that ringtone name here. Absolutely, you would get a special ringtone. And next one is going to be DID pattern. Usually we don't use DID pattern unless you have a DID numbers from your SIP trunk. All right. So if you have a bunch of DID numbers, you want to make it be really specific to handle incoming calls, to route incoming calls from different numbers. Well, you absolutely need a DID pattern. Give you guys 3 options. DID pattern, match DID pattern to extensions, match DID range to extension range. Depends on you. If you choose the first one, that means we're just going to use a very general rule to create the DID pattern. How do we create the rule? Take a look. Here's the reference. You can use numbers, you can use letters, you can use symbols, make a combination, set the rule to define the format of your DID number. If that's a specific number, you drop the number here directly. If that's not a specific number, like a bunch of DID numbers, they have something in common, but not exactly the same thing, then we can use the format. So that's the way how we use the DID pattern. Okay, I'm going to skip this. And also we get a caller ID pattern as well. So pattern is the same thing, same reference. The caller ID, we usually use this feature for defining the system to handle some specific caller ID. Like I got a special number from my VIP customer. I just want to handle this customer's call directly, then we can set this rule here. That's it. We can just identify his caller ID more specifically. Then just make your selection. You can select 1 channel, 2 channels, or 3 channels simultaneously. And then set the destination. Okay, so if you never enable the time condition, there will be only one incoming call destination. However, mostly people are going to enable the time condition, make it be a little bit complex. So time-based routing mode, you have 3 options based on global business hours, which is the one I created before. That's the global business hours. Or you can also choose based on custom business hours or custom time periods. So let's see the difference. If you choose this one, we're just going to follow what I did before to, according to our time conditions, one by one. Like business hours might be IVR, and outside business hours might be ring group, might be group voicemail. Holidays might be hang up. Just an example. So this is what we can do here. However, sometimes for people who's going to need the flexibility, sometimes they want to switch the time condition. All right, they need the flexibility. So we can actually choose this. If you need the flexibility, well, forget about the global time conditions there. You go click on something here. You go create something here more specifically by yourself. That's what you can do here. And the point is, we got a feature code now. Whatever you set there, then the authorized extension user got the permission to use the feature code to switch the time condition. That's what they can do there. Okay. However, one more thing here is going to be the custom time periods. Like for some office who's going to take shift work system, I guess they might probably prefer this one. So do as you wish. All right. And the last one is going to be fax detection. So if you have fax machine, you're going to handle fax directly. You go enable fax detection. This is going to be your fax machine, which is extension. All right, that's going to be analog terminal, absolutely. But if you don't have fax machine, you can choose fax to email. And make sure you get the mailbox configured for this extension. So there will be a PDF version of the fax for this guy. If you don't want to use the fax, you can just hang up. Or you can just disable this. Depends on you. All right, so this is basically the way how we configure the inbound route. All right, and the next one is going to be the outbound route. Like I said, take a reverse. We also need the route to tell the system how to handle outgoing calls, which is going to be the outbound route. Now, we can go click on edit here, name it, same as usual. And also we get an outbound caller ID, unless you have a special outbound caller ID. Usually, we don't have to do anything about this part of configuration because the outbound caller ID basically is just right over there on the trunk. Like I said, unless you have a special outbound caller ID, you purchased it from the service provider, you truly want to use it, otherwise we can just leave it empty here. Then we got a dial pattern. What is the dial pattern? The dial pattern here is like the rule to tell the system how to dial numbers. All right. So here's the deal. You guys can see we got a default dial pattern, which is a letter X with a dot. So what's the meaning? Take a look. This is the reference. So letter X matches the numbers from 0 to 9. That basically means the first digit could be anything. 0, 8, 9, 5, anything, whatever. And the dot here, you guys can also see this. Wildcard dot matches one or more numbers. So if we put them together, the rule tells us whatever the number you're going to dial there really doesn't matter, but just make sure the number you're going to dial, it's something at least with 2 digits. At least with 2 digits. That's the rule, right? So it works totally fine for any number, absolutely. However, sometimes we want to make it be more specific. It's like for external calls, I guess. Actually, it works like this. For any telephony system, the basic logic can always work like this. It always works like this. So if you never set something specifically there, some special rules there, so the system, whatever you're going to dial there, the system will always start searching this number internally rather than send this number to the outbound route directly. So if you want to make it specifically, you want to make sure there's nothing wrong, there's no mistakes. So people, they probably want to use the identification number. One of our popular examples is going to be number 9. This is so globalized. Usually people use number 9 as the first digit when they try to make external calls. They drop number 9 here. Just to tell the system, hey, if I grab my phone, start with number 9. Go access the outbound route, all right? Don't waste my time internally. The point is this number 9 is the identification number configured by ourselves. Just like I said, it's configured by ourselves. So How do we make it be more specific? How do we make it work? Because for service provider side, I'm pretty sure they cannot identify this. It's an invalid number for them. So what are we supposed to do now is in strip here, we need to drop 1. Basically means the first digit, which is number 9. It's going to be deleted automatically before we send the number out. Then as for prepend, it depends on you. You are supposed to check with the service provider for prepend. All right. I'll give you guys an example because whenever you drop it here, that number will work as the prefix. And it works with the service provider mostly because if you try to configure something here by yourself, all right, I guess you will probably get a problem here. The thing is like if, for example, for international calls, let's say, as we know, we need the country code. We also need the international dialing code. And this international dialing code is different. For different service providers, they provide you different rules. So maybe they provide you the rule like 00 or something. So here you can drop 00. That's just a rule. That's just a rule. So next time, if you want to make international calls, you can go grab your phone, dial number 9 with country code with the target number. So this is the rule. Or maybe not 00, maybe something else, maybe plus or maybe some other numbers. Just go check with them. Don't forget it. Next step, select your channels. Like I said, you can select all of them, all right? For example, like this. And the next one, outbound route password. So you can set a password for your internal users. If they try to make external calls, they're supposed to enter the password. It might be a single password or a bunch of passwords in the pin list. Depends on you. Okay. And we can also enable round robin with memory hunt. So what is the round robin with memory hunt? Take a look. If we enable this, the system will just remember which chunk was used the last time and then use the next available channel to count out. So this is like if you enable this, all these selected channels are gonna take a switch. It's like an automatic switch between them. It's truly intelligent. If you disable this, so it's like if the first call go through with the first channel, and when the second call tries to go out, and if the first channel is available now, then we're still gonna use the first channel. Not that intelligent. All right. Then last one's going to be extensions. So now select your extensions. All right. You can, like this, all of our extensions has been selected here. It means all of them can use this outbound route for external calls. Well, if you want to make it be more specific, you can also customize it here with those extensions one by one. This is something you can do as well, like this. Last one is going to be time condition. It depends on you. Are you going to enable the time condition or not? Make your choice here. But I guess mostly we're going to keep what it is here. Always. Then just click on save and apply for it. So this is the way how we configure this outbound route. All right. Okay, so I guess basically that was all we have for this part, for this session, and we still have something left on our system. For example, guys, we have a bunch of call features. Also, we have a lot of things I never mentioned, which is the advanced features based on the web client. So we're about to talk about the call features for the next session. And the last session, I guess, basically we will just talk about the web client. Those advanced features based on web client. Okay, catch you guys in the next one.